Hi, I'm Michelle, Director of Educational Content and Programs at Shape America. And if you want to learn more about health and physical education, you are going to love Toy Talk Tuesdays. And I'm not talking about these kinds of toys. I'm talking about Teachers of the Year. Shape America Teachers of the Year represent the best adapted physical education, dance, health, and physical education teachers in the United States, and you get to hear directly from them. So make sure that you subscribe so you don't miss an episode, and be sure to comment below with the tips and resources you want to hear about most. If you're interested in learning about how to become a Shape America Teacher of the Year, just make sure to click the link right here below. Thanks so much for watching.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Toy Talk Tuesday. My name is Maureen Brennan. I'm the Director of Marketing at Goodheart-Willcox Publisher, and I'm delighted to serve as today's host. Toy Talk Tuesday is a bi-weekly series of interviews about topics in health and physical education with Shape America's National and District Teachers of the Year. Today's segment will focus on gratitude. I am joined today by Lindsay Armbruster, and I will give her an opportunity to introduce herself.
Hi, everybody. I am Lindsay Armbruster. I am the 2015 Eastern District Health Education Teacher of the Year. I am currently a 6th and 8th grade middle school health teacher at O'Rourke Middle School in Burnt Hills, Ballston Lake School District in upstate New York.
Thanks, Lindsay. As a member of the Shape America Teacher of the Year community, you have a unique platform to share your expertise, talents, and leadership with health and physical education teachers across the country. We are so proud of your accomplishments and appreciate you participating today. And now I'll turn it over to Lindsay.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I am very excited to be here to talk about gratitude. It's one of my absolute favorite health education topics. I'm kind of a mental health guru, I guess. And so I could teach an entire course just on mental health. But here we're just here to talk about gratitude today. And so I've got a bunch of resources here that I'm going to touch base on. But one of the main things that I want to point out that is important in my classroom, in my teaching, is that gratitude doesn't just happen in November. Gratitude gets a lot of attention in November because of Thanksgiving, but I kind of try to create an attitude of gratitude throughout the entire time that I'm with my students. Every day, gratitude comes up. So I try to instill that in my students because it is so important that people, not just kids, but people of all ages, experience gratitude in their life. It's so good for our mental health. So I have that kind of pervasive thought throughout my entire time with my students. And one of the ways that I do that is every single day we start with a journal. And a lot of my favorite journals come from Christy Zimmer, and she's got a lot of freebies out on the internet. When you look at this slide, you can see in the top right-hand corner there, 10 minutes to recognize the good stuff. That's one of the journals that my students work on, and I give them 10 minutes to recognize the good stuff. And that's not just in November, that's on just a random day during the school year. And so Christy Zimmer has a lot of really great journal prompts that I integrate into my class to help kids recognize things that they should be grateful for in their life. So that's one of my favorite activities, and that is every single day we journal, and usually it has something to do with gratitude, but not always. Something else that I do often with my students is meditation, and Smiling Mind is free and it's out of Australia, and they have some specific meditations and classroom learning activities that are specific to gratitude for all ages, K through 12. And I utilize those in my classes all the time as well, and the students really love them. Being here in the U.S., they really enjoy the Australian accent of the person leading them through the meditation. But the notion of mindfulness meditation with a focus on gratitude is really powerful. So I utilize mindfulness meditation, usually through Smiling Mind often as well. Another thing that I spend a lot of time on is kind of more school-wide activities, which is that's what you see there on that slide, You Are Appreciated. And we had those postcards made up specifically for our school. We have a theme, We Are O'Rourke, and we send these cards to students, and we have students send them to staff, and they're postcards, and we send them to the students actually through the mail. And they realize the power of actually receiving a piece of mail through the mailbox And so that's something that we always do, is have kids send letters to each other, appreciation letters, as well as to staff members. So that's something that we really love to do as well. There's a great website or a great YouTube video called An Experiment in Gratitude by Soul Pancake. And it is a video of people expressing gratitude and writing it in letters form. So the scientists, or the people posing as scientists in this video, say, you're going to write a letter to this person who you're super, super thankful for. And so they write it, and it's really great, and they read the letter, and then the person posing as a scientist says, okay, now you're going to call that person and you're going to read this letter to them. And the people are like, what? Oh my God, I can't do that. That's crazy. And they get really nervous. And I think that's a really genuine reaction, because we often feel very thankful, but it's hard to express it. And so this video showcases people having that very natural reaction to expressing gratitude. And so it's great. And then it ends up showing how amazing it is, how beneficial it is to the person who wrote the letter to just write the letter, but then how even more beneficial it is to actually read that letter to the person that they wrote it to. And so we watched that video in class. And then I say to the children, you guys are going to do the exact same thing. And so they're like, oh no, I can't believe it. I can't do that. Some kids really jump on it and say, oh, I know exactly who I'm going to write to. And they write like crazy. I love integrating writing into my class. But I also love integrating writing with gratitude into my class. So then they get a chance to just write to this person, whoever it is that they want it to be. Some kids get really stuck. And so I start giving them options of who they might write to. You could write to a teacher. You could write to your pet. You could write to your grandparent. You could write to your brother, your sister, your best friend. Oh, I can write to a friend? Yes. And so a lot of times kids think when you're expressing gratitude, it has to be to your parents or somebody who's taking care of you. But you can have, I think it's an important point to make, that kids can be grateful for people who are like at their level, their peers. And so I often have kids write to their peers. And then I challenge them, you're supposed to give this now to this person. Or you can call them up. And I always offer that as an option in my class. I've only had one student take me up on it during class. And the kid voluntarily, I said, really, you want to call this person right now? He was like, yeah, I'll do it in front of the class. Fantastic. So
I love it.
It was fantastic. This boy called his mom. She was at work. And so when she saw the school number come up on her phone, she panicked, of course. And she was like, hello. And he didn't have it on speaker, so we didn't hear her side of the conversation, but he read his letter to her. And it was amazing. And she was so happy, and he was so happy. And everybody felt so good. And us watching that, our class of 8th graders watching that, was just phenomenal. It was just a really important moment for all of us. And that mom loved it. And she wrote me an email afterward and thanked me for having her kid do the thank you. So it paid forward.
Sure. Yeah.
It was so great. So that's something that at first the kids are often hesitant to do, but then they realize the impact of it. This year's a little bit different because usually I give the kids like nice letter paper but we can't do that this year because of coronavirus. So we do everything digitally. So I said, guys, you can create your thank you note and make it real fancy on the computer, and I'll even print it out in color. And my district was supportive of that, and their minds were blown that we could print this in color. It makes a difference. So that's just a really special thing that I always do with my kids. That Soul Pancake, An Experiment in Gratitude, is an amazing video for kids and adults, and then to take it a step further and have the kids actually do that experiment that they did in the video, even though it's going to push them outside their comfort zone for sure.
Right.
I love that.
Fantastic.
Yeah. The other link that I have on this page, this screen, is Project School Wellness, and she's a health educator that I follow, and she has a whole ready to go lesson plan activities related to gratitude. Like a gratitude game where you just list as many things as you're grateful for, which you don't actually need someone to tell you to do that, but that's a great idea just to challenge your kids. All right, the first thing when you come into class right now is to write as many things as you can possibly think of that you're grateful for, and then come back the next day and see if you can beat that. So make it a bit of a challenge. Middle schoolers are known for wanting to compete, and I don't want them to compete with each other, but I will happily have them compete with themselves, especially if they're trying to compete with the number of things that they can come up with that they are thankful for. So that's another activity that I really love to do with my students and that they love, and they walk out of the class excited. And I want kids to be excited about the things that they have in their life or the things that they've experienced in their life, not just in November around Thanksgiving, but all the time. Because even though things are tough right now, and a lot of our students are experiencing that, we do have a lot of things to be grateful for. There's a lot of innovation going on in school, and there's a lot of creative stuff going on in school. My students are in a hybrid situation. So they're in school for 2 days, and then they're out of school for 2 days, and half of their class is online. And so we get to do some really cool things with technology because of the situation that we're in. And people have gotten really creative, and that's something that I am really grateful for in the world of coronavirus and education, that this crisis has caused innovation. And I hope that that comes through for my students as well, that they can recognize, even though times are tough and things aren't as normal, we still do have a lot of things to be grateful for year-round.
I love it. These are great ideas. Thank you so much.
Sure.
This is such a feel-good session, and I love that you're doing this year-round and not just in November or December. So thank you so much. On behalf of Shape America and the Shape America Teacher of the Year Partner Network, thanks again to Lindsay for sharing these ready-to-use activities and tips. Be sure to visit www.shapeamerica.org to check out our biweekly Toy Talk Tuesday segments for more great resources from our Shape America Teacher of the Year community. Follow Shape America Spark Wellness Training Specialists, Gopher and Goodheart-Willcox to share ideas for future Toy Talk Tuesday topics and themes. And as always, let us know any questions you may have for our Shape America Teachers of the Year. Have an active and healthy day.
Oh.